Alright, so recently I've been coming across a lot of these lesser known little underground projects and settings for the Steam Deck that I didn't even know existed. The other day I found a plugin that lets you control your AirPods ANC settings. It also lets you monitor the battery status if you have AirPods or Beats. There's also a setting that I've been using that has completely changed the trackpads, which in my opinion has actually made them usable for aiming now. So yeah, stuff like that. Just some quality of life improvements that I wanted to share with you that I've started to use on my Steam Deck to create that fresh, feature-packed setup. So here we go. Gonna try to keep this as rapid fire as possible so we can knock it out quick. Now, I do recommend, if you have a Steam Deck, keep it stock without any modifications if you did just get it and you're new to SteamOS or Linux, just so you can get comfortable and get the hang of everything without needing to worry about anything breaking. So grab yourself a snack. Let's get into it. Here we have my completely stock Steam Deck. This is probably what you've been used to with SteamOS, unless you've already done something insane. So right from the beginning, the first thing I'll do is tune up the controls. Sometimes I've found that updates do like to reset the settings occasionally, so I'll just double check by heading over to the settings tab, scrolling all the way down to controller, and then going into calibration and advanced settings. Then I like to half the stick dead zones to about 4200 because they are pretty overkill by default, and this makes a huge difference if you are playing a lot of FPS games or you just want that finer precision. So then I'll do a quick gyro calibration, and then we'll head over to the trackpad settings. This one I feel can make a huge difference. I usually just adjust this based on the game. I have Risk of Rain here. So I'll just pause, head over to controller settings, go to right trackpad behavior and switch that to as mouse, and then the gear icon, head over to the trackpad tab and disable trackball mode. The way I describe this is it's sort of like mouse acceleration, which is really terrible for aiming. It just feels significantly more consistent now. So those are the couple controller settings that I do recommend trying out. Now, as for the big guns, that second level of tinkering is going to require you to go back to the settings tab and then go into system and then enable developer mode. This adds a new developer menu at the very bottom of the systems tray. The next thing I do is head over into this menu and enable CEF remote debugging. So from here, I'll switch over to desktop mode, and this is really the only time you have to be in here for this whole process. I just end up using Steam Link from my PC, and then I'll go into the Discover Store and install Firefox. So that usually takes a little while to download. Once it's good to go, I'll launch it up, and in the search bar, type in Decky Loader. This will bring you to their GitHub page where you can download it directly. So I'll open up the file, run the installer from here, and just go through the prompts. If you don't have an admin password set, it should auto default to Decky, which is totally fine. Just let everything fully install and then close it up once it's done and good to go. The next thing I'll do is head over to the Discover Store and search up Proton Up QT. This is essentially a compatibility tool that works really well for non-Steam games or games that just struggle with compatibility. Proton is basically a translation layer, and Proton GE is a custom-built version with the latest experimental patches that sometimes works better than Valve. So I like to install GE Proton. Now, the last things I'll do in desktop mode is right-click on Firefox and add it to Steam. Then I'll do the exact same thing with Proton Up QT. So you can just update it without needing to go back into the desktop mode. The final thing I'll do is hit the folder icon, then navigate over to the hamburger menu and make sure you have show hidden files is on. So you have access to seeing everything. And that's pretty much it for the boring stuff. I'll just restart from here and head back to where we started. All right, now that we have that out of the way, we now have access to some of the really interesting customization options, like the one I showed at the beginning of the video. So for the second stage, I go back to the home screen, then open up the quick access menu, scroll all the way down to the plug icon, and we now have access to Decky. Here you can switch between the store and settings gear icon. This is really where you'll find most of the plugins for the Steam Deck. There's a lot of good ones here, and I'm gonna share some of my favorites that, you know, don't overcrowd everything. So the first one I install is Animation Changer. It's literally at the top of the list. It lets you customize your suspend animations and boot videos. There's a ton of options here to choose from, so you can just nail whatever theme you're trying to go with. I'm gonna try to breeze through all of these as fast as possible because there are quite a few of them, and I'll save some of my favorite ones and themes toward the end of the video. So moving on to the next one I like to use is Steam Grid DB. This one lets you customize the cover and menu art for games or apps on your Steam Deck that are either missing art or you just want to replace. So following up with Proton DB badges, this is something I use all the time actually. It just adds playability badges, which are community ranked from bronze, silver, gold, I think platinum, and they give you an idea of how well a game plays on the Steam Deck. I also really like game theme music, which is pretty self-explanatory. It just adds the actual soundtrack to the game's page. Then wrapping things up, Audio Loader is always installed, which lets me replace the Steam Deck's UI sound effects, so it goes really well with the theme. I'll also add in deck settings, which gives you recommended graphic settings for the game you're playing. As for functional Bluetooth ones, really the only ones I use are the Bluetooth plugin, which gives you like a quick access Bluetooth menu, and Magic Pods. So Magic Pods isn't on Decky, so you do have to go into the settings at the top right, scroll down to enable developer mode, then down to the dev menu and type in the direct install URL. So you can now have access to control your ANC settings. It's pretty neat. And the final plugin I'll use when setting up my Steam Deck is CSS Loader. This one can really completely overhaul the look of your Steam Deck, and it's what you can use to create that ultra clean look. And there you have it. Again, this is not something that absolutely everyone out there needs to do. I find that with the OLED model, you can get some pretty interesting blacked out themes. And of course, there's a bunch of different themes you can get for the LCD Steam Deck to kind of refresh the experience, keep it stylized and personal. So that about wraps things up. Drop a comment down below if you want to see more of these types of videos, and get subscribed if you want to see all the stuff that's coming within the next couple of months, because we've got some pretty interesting projects in the pipeline. And there's a lot of stuff going on, so busy months. Big thanks for watching. Get subscribed if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next one.